Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Homesteading Off the Grid, and welcome back to another morning ramble. We're back in the woodshed this morning because it is cold outside and dark and with a little bit of rain. It's early, and I'm hoping that this uploads much quicker than we've been getting. I'm sorry I missed a couple days. We got so frustrated with our internet connection, I said the heck with it for 2 days straight. I apologize for that. But I wanted to get back out here this morning and talk to you a little bit about this topic. It involves toxic people, knowing how to identify it, sometimes coming to the realization that the people that you never thought of as being toxic are, and kind of it's like having like a great awakening in regard to self-preservation, self-care, and self-love. So as I always do, I'm going to basically just tell you a story from my own experience to kind of let you know what I'm talking about. All right, a lot of you are new to the channel. We're getting a lot of new subscribers by way of the why I quit the post office, USPS, and why you don't get your Amazon packages on time. That thing seems to be picking up some viral activity somehow. And so we got a lot of new people relating to that information in there, a lot of postal workers coming on board. And if that's you, thank you for what you do for this country and the residents of this country. You've got the hardest civilian job I've ever had. So thank you. And we're glad you're here. So anyway, I kind of talked about, okay, a lot of folks don't know. I spent 6 years living in the Philippines. Never thought I'd make it back. A lot of various reasons I got over there. A lot of various reasons I got stuck there. And you can check out a lot of the old rambles to get the details on that. I don't want to rehash because most of the people watching this are subscribers who've been here for a long time. Hey, guys. But when I did come back, I was so happy to come back. Never thought I'd see this beautiful country again. So I came back. I spent 6 months here alone without my beautiful bride, Dearly, and our son. They had to stay over there while I came back, got back on the radar. I mean, I had not filed taxes for a couple of years. And guys, that's terrible. Listen, it's okay if you owe. The IRS will work out a payment arrangement and agreement with you. I've done that in the past. But not filing? Nope. It doesn't matter if you're better off if you owe tens of thousands of dollars. It's better you file and work out a payment agreement than it is if you say only owe $100 or don't owe and don't file. They'll lock your accounts down and you're going to have a heck of a time getting them unlocked. Just throwing that out there. That has nothing to do with toxic people. Well, the IRS is pretty toxic. But again, that's why we call these rambles. I'm all over the place. So anyway, I had to come back, go get square with the IRS. My driver's license had expired while I was in Iraq. And then I spent years in the Philippines, so I had to get my driver's license back. Failed the written test twice. Crazy. You hold the steering wheel on the bottom now, where when I took the test originally, like in 1980 something, it was on the top. So anyway, I had to actually read the little pamphlet so I wouldn't fail the third time. So anyway, yeah, I had no address. I had to go. I stayed in a motel for the first week I was here in Charlottesville. Basically rented an apartment temporarily in the first complex that would have me. I had to go out and like buy furniture because I had nothing. And I was making way for my family to come over from the Philippines, which they did. I was here 6 months, went back to the Philippines, was there for 6 months, waiting for the finalization of my wife's paperwork so we could bring her here legally. My son, of course, has dual citizenship. And then we finally came. But here's the point of this. I'm talking about toxic people, but I wanted to give you the backstory of my story. So I was out trying to buy furniture. I went around to see a lot of my old friends, people that I had actually missed while I was gone. And they seemed shocked to see me. I wouldn't say that any of them really seemed happy to see me. They seemed kind of shocked. But I spent some time with some of them, and these are people I hadn't seen for years. Now, we'd lost contact. I was gone. I was out there. I was off the grid. I was off the map. I was off the radar, and I was out of the universe. So, but while having conversations with all of these people, the question I found myself asking myself while I was talking to them was, why did I ever hang out with these people in the first place? Now, mind you, they're good people. Good people. And it's not that they had changed. I mean, they stayed here in the area the whole 8 years I was gone or whatever. I had changed so much. I was not the same person that left this place. And it took me kind of getting back around to some of the people that I'd known before to realize that. Okay, here's when I realized, and this is the message I kind of want to give to you guys, because a lot of folks, a lot of the new people especially, are commenting in the comments about how they are miserable at their jobs, they hate their jobs, and some people are saying, oh, you're a wimp, you couldn't take it. Guys, I'm not going to, in the crayon video, I talked about my military service 17,548 times in 18 minutes and 36 seconds. So I'm not going to do it here. And there are certain things I'll never talk about that happened in the Philippines. What I can tell you is that I'm not a wimp. What I can tell you is that I know my worth. I know my value, and they're both very high, even if only to me. And I'm the only person that matters. Fortunately, my worth and my value is also very high to my beautiful bride, and my worth and my value is very high to my son. Me, her, and him are the only people I care about, because me, her, and him were the only people that were in those jungles together, living through what we lived through when no one else was there. We're the ones that did what needed to be done to make it back. Now we're the only ones that matter in my book. So I didn't leave a miserable job that I hated because I wasn't tough enough to take the abuse and take the disrespect. I left a miserable job that I hated, that I didn't enjoy, because I value myself enough not to allow others to mistreat me in such a way. Now, I wasn't always that way, and I didn't realize I'd become that way until I came back and started seeing some of the old folks that I knew in my previous life. Now, here's where this really came home. I was out trying to buy furniture. I was kind of like just stockpiling stuff in this small apartment, knowing it was temporary, knowing that once I got my family here, we would buy a place, because we were doing really well back then with the writing and everything. And 3 months after I got my wife and my son here to the Philippines, we bought a 6-acre homestead with this old 2-story farmhouse built in 1903, beautiful place out here in the country. So I was trying to buy furniture, and I don't want to say I'm tight, I'm thrifty. And there was one place I was looking at furniture, and they wanted $250 in a delivery fee, and the apartment where I was staying was 4 miles up the road. And I just couldn't, the furniture was pricey, but it was nice. It's the kind you buy that's going to last a long time. But, a lot of furniture will last a long time if you take care of it. Well, I just couldn't get over this $250 delivery fee. Even at, I was going to spend thousands of dollars on furniture, paying cash. We cash and carry with most of our things. I'm not a debtor. I despise debt. You want to talk about, a lot of people get stuck in jobs they hate that make them miserable, and they can't leave because even if they're making good money, most of that's going to make their minimum monthly required obligations on their revolving debt accounts. That is a trap. If you could avoid that trap, my friend, you have discovered the key to life, at least financially. It's not about getting rich. It's about getting out of debt and staying out of debt. And then you'll realize your needs are actually so few. And we start by minimizing our wants. And this is all subject for a different time. So I didn't buy the furniture at this place. I just happened to see a truck go by that had the picture of a big couch on it, and it said free delivery. And so I was like, where is that place? It was a place called Rent-A-Center. And they're now out of business. I was like, I think I've heard of them. So I go there because what caught my eyes was the free delivery part. And so I go in. They have a nice living room set that would last. We still have it. It's going on 3 years, and it still looks new because we take care of our things. It was a third the cost of what I was going to pay at the other place. I think I got the whole thing for like $1,300, and we ended up getting some other stuff from there too, paid cash for all of it, and we got free delivery. Now, another benefit is that I befriended these guys that worked there and delivered there, and when we moved way out here into the farm, Those guys moved all our stuff for us, the heavy furniture and all this stuff. We packed, they moved it into the house, used their truck. I paid them a small fee to rent the truck and for their labor. And so it just worked out great. And I like seeing those guys when I'm in town. So anyway, I get this furniture from Rent-A-Center, and I see an old friend. He comes by my place. I gotten back together with him and saw him once, and I'm saying that thing to myself. He's a good guy, but you know, he's a narcissist, major narcissist, and I don't know, he's just taking digs at me when I get back together with him, and I was like, what's going on here? And I thought to myself, you know, this is how this guy always was. It's just when you were here before, you would take those digs because you didn't know your worth. You didn't know your value, and you would let people treat you like that. So the guy comes over to my apartment, sits on the furniture, and he says, Kevin, I thought you were making, because I was dumb enough to share with this guy the kind of money I was making back then as a writer, blogger, writing all that fake news. And I said, yeah. And he says, then why did you buy this cheap furniture? This is pathetic. And I looked at him. I said, dude, do you realize for the last 6 years I've been sitting on bamboo planks? The furniture I had was handmade out of bamboo, and it was too small for me to fit on. This is the first couch in 6 years I've actually been able to lay down on. And he just looks at me and just shakes his head and tells me how pathetic it is. That was the last time I ever saw that guy. And that guy is not a bad guy. He's a narcissist. What he said, that's just who he is. And I accept him for who he is. And I don't dislike this person or have any ill will towards this person. It's just after that time we got together, I said to myself, I'm obviously not the same person I was before I left 8 years ago, because the person who left 8 years ago would have taken that, would have put up with it, and would have gotten back with that person to hang out another time, which would have been saying like, thank you, sir, may I have another? Well, I don't do that these days. And it's not because I'm a wimp. It's not because I'm thin-skinned. Trust me. Stories I'll never tell because I can't talk about that. Like I said, 17,548 times in the Neighbor with Crayon video. Trust me, make your skin crawl. And I can assure you I'm not weak. I'm not a wimp. I'm strong. I know who I am. I know what I'm worth. And it's not just to me. It's also to the most beautiful woman with whom I've ever had the honor to share company. And it's to a little boy who looks up to me almost as much as I look up to him, even though he's only 7 years old. So nothing else and nobody else matters. When you know your own worth, it makes a world of difference. And if you don't know your own worth, it's probably because you're hanging out with a lot of the wrong people. And I'm just telling you. And the choice is yours, just like to stay in that miserable job. The choice is yours to continue to spend time with people who disrespect you, who mistreat you, who insult you. And we'll do it the next time you're around them, because every time you go back around them, it's the same as saying, thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am, may I have another? But that choice is yours. I made my choice. Your choice is up to you. So guys, hopefully this will upload quick enough and you'll get to see this morning ramble while it's still morning. Going forward, I'm just going to come out here whether the internet speed's slow or not. Like I said, sorry I missed a couple days. I kind of needed the break, so forgive me for that. Not that I'm a wimp, but because I just knew I needed a break. So thanks for being with us here at Homesteading Off the Grid, and make sure to check back in with us for more later.